Beautiful ladies, and welcome to day 1 of the Embodied Woman Live Series. And in celebration of my upcoming program, my newest women's program, which begins on Solstice, June 21st, I am sharing a 7-day live series with you, where every day I'm going to be going into a different topic, essence, value that the embodied woman embodies. And when I talk about embodiment, it's really about how you're being in your body, how you show up to life. It's not these concepts in the mind, it's more of like a frequency and energy of how you're being, how we're being. And as spiritual women on the path to living our ultimate lives, to really living our highest timeline, to living divine union, to living right relationship, to really being balanced. And it's not really about balance, it's about sharing our dharma and our gifts in a way that overflows. Like we're just sharing our hearts and ourselves. Like we're heart-centered leaders, we're heart-centered creators, we're sharing our gifts with the world. It's a devotional practice. And this type of embodiment is something that is the work we're here to do for our lives. It's a work of the mature feminine, because there's the adolescent feminine, there's all kinds of feminine energies, but the embodied mature feminine that is in devotion, in love, in compassion, in radical self-love, who is fully authentic. And I'm going to talk about authenticity today. Every single day I'm going to talk on a different theme, value, embodiment, what it means, and how in the Embodied Woman Program we're actually going to deepen and do the healing work and the transformational work on an energetic level, on a mental level, on a cellular level. Because a lot of this work is healing, reprogramming, clearing out energies and frequencies that are not us, and stepping more into the truth of who we are by incarnating our spirit, our divine essence, our true essence and frequency into our bodies. Because unfortunately, when we went through the process of growing up and being raised in society and families and cultures, it dampened the truth of who we are. It created different types of coping mechanisms, different ways of being that we felt we needed to be for safety, for love, to receive love. And so authenticity is when you are fully embodied as the truth of who you are. You are living your truth 100% in your outer world and in your inner world. It's when you're fully expressed, how you be, how you speak, how you want to dress, what you allow into your life, what you don't allow into your life. Your authenticity is like the truth, your essence. And not everyone is living authentically. And this happens because of traumas and wounds and programming, what society told us was acceptable for a woman to be. But the thing is that there's many flavors of the feminine. There's many faces of the goddess. And no two women are exactly alike. So the truth is, your unique way of being that resonates most with your heart and soul is your authenticity. And there's no right or wrong way to be. It's what resonates true for you. And in my work over the past decade, doing this type of work and hosting women's circles and women's programs, I've seen so many women who are not operating in authenticity, and this creates so much sickness. It creates burnout. It creates unhappiness, unfulfillment. And when we finally unleash the truth of who we are, and we really be who we came here to be, life completely transforms. And this is when we start to give from that overflowing place. This is when we really start to create life by our rules. And the truth is, we can have life, love, and business exactly how we want. We do not need to operate from templates of the past, of our family, of culture, of society. We can make up and create whatever we desire. And that goes for business too. When I serve as a business mentor for clients, and they're trying to decide what to do. It's like, well, what do you want to do? Like, what's your truth? What would light you up? What is the path of your heart? When you're living authentically, you're following highest excitement. When you're living authentically, you're really being led by your heart, not your mind and the shoulds and the judgments of what you think or how things are supposed to be. There is no one truth. The only truth that matters is yours. And so what happens when there's traumas to resolve, when there's things to be healed and integrated, women oftentimes result to people pleasing, especially if you may have grown up in a background where you felt like maybe your caregivers were not fully stable, or you didn't always feel unconditional love. You thought, okay, I need to be a certain way or act a certain way so that I can get love, so that I can create peace and not stir things up. And so a fear was embedded of, oh my gosh, I can't be my true self because it might create waves or ripples, or it might bother other people. But the truth is, you came here to be who you are, and the world needs you in your unique makeup. And so it oftentimes works against us. So we may be wondering, like, why aren't things going the way I want them to go? Or how come I'm not at that level yet that I know I'm destined to be at? Well, you might want to look at your authenticity. How are you expressing in the world? Is any part of you hiding? Like, I know a lot of women who have stepped into a spiritual path and have really come into even more mystical aspects of themselves. They call it like being in the woo-woo closet. Like, I don't want to share this with people. People might think it's weird. And I've experienced different layers of it. Like, even I'm about to come out of like another aspect of where I haven't fully been sharing online when it comes to the energetic realm and the energetic world. Even though you all know I channel light language, which is going to be in the Embodied Woman Program. And you all know that I work with energy. But I also see a lot of reality and a lot of the distortions of reality from the lens of they are created by entities and energies that are not of the forces of light. Of course, on some layer, they are the light. They've fallen from the light. But I don't really share about entities. But if you came into my one-to-one work and my 30-day intensive and my women's program, I talk about it. But for whatever reason, I haven't really been sharing about it online to the masses. But that's shifting now, right? Because I always share the work that I do. So as I go through my deeper embodiment journey and become a more embodied feminine woman, and this is not femininity and it's not feminism, this is something very different. The wind is blowing here. I'm in Ibiza, by the way. And so as we come into our deeper embodiment, we start to share about life in a more authentic way. There's no more contorting, like, okay, or even chameleon. Like when you start to be a chameleon and you're like, okay, if I'm with these people, I need to act like this. If I'm doing that, I need to make sure I don't use certain words. It's like, be who you are. And whatever is stopping you, the parts that may still be traumatized or in fear of not being loved, and women also contort to try to get a man sometimes. And this is not an aligned relationship if you do that, right? And part of authenticity is honoring your standards, honoring your boundaries, honoring this is the truth of who I am. And the truth is, if you show up as you, like the true you, the really authentic you, then you attract in those who are really meant for you. So anytime you hide or contort or people please or don't share your truth, you're actually doing a disservice to the situation, because it's like, why are we pretending here? It's not going to get anyone anywhere, because the truth always comes out in the end, and then you're just kind of wasting your time. But it's not a waste of time, because you're learning that, oh, I need to be authentic. I'm going to have better relationships if I'm authentic, because I'm really going to attract the people who are meant to be in my life. Friendships, clients, belovedship, right? And the moment we start to change for another, we're not being authentic. So what's the truth of you? And sometimes people don't even know what that is. because for so long you've been operating a certain way because you think that's how you're supposed to be, and you've forgotten who you are. And sometimes we have to remember again, like, wait, what's my truth? What are my values? What is really important to me in my life? And so much of your authenticity work is honoring yourself and honoring your truth and remembering what that is. And so in the Embodied Woman Program, these things are so funny. These like, I think it does something when I do a heart too. Yeah. I don't know if you guys are able to see that. But in the Embodied Woman Program, a lot of this work is about remembering and returning to the truth of who you are, remembering your values, your standards, like what it is that you are here to do and be in this world. And from your compass, from your light, from your truth, from your full expression, that's too much good, be too much, right? Like I want you to be all of you, fully expressed, like on full blast volume. And sometimes that means true you is like I don't need to smile. I don't need to show up to this live and be like, hi, hey everyone, but I'm not feeling that. No, that's not authenticity. And that's felt. Like that fakeness, that's felt. And that's not going to, it's not magnetic. But what is magnetic is like, this is who I am. Love me or leave me. It's okay. Because I love me more. So I'm going to be me so that I can attract in what is meant for me, so that I can bring in the people and the clients and the situations that are meant for me, the love that is meant for me, right? And the same for you. And so authenticity is a very mature feminine principle because it requires you to speak your no. It requires you to stand fully in what you believe in and what you desire for your life. And it's not always easy because it does require us to heal the parts of us that are scared, that are in fear, that were traumatized in the past. And you thought like, oh, it was because I did that happened. But no, the healing that will bring you to your highest timeline, the embodiment that will bring you to your highest timeline is you embodied as you, more of you. So part of that work requires you to clear out the programs, which we're going to do in the Embodied Woman Program. Clear out any frequencies or distortions in your physical body or energetic field that could be like interfering with your own personal frequency. So you have a frequency that's you. And when other people's energies and other people's belief systems and the programming that's like, you should be like this, and this is how a woman is, and this is what you're supposed to do with your life, and all of that. And sometimes your authenticity clashes with your family. And sometimes your authenticity clashes with the reality you have now, because as you awaken, what's not in alignment is going to fall away. The more authentic you become, you can guarantee things are going to release from your life. And that can be done in a more easeful, graceful way. And that's the work we do in the Embodied Woman Program. It's really time to refine. It's like a refinement of your essence and frequency, so then you magnetize in what is really for you and what you really desire. Because if you're being fake in any way, or hiding in any way, or contorting, or people-pleasing in any way, firstly, that's not self-love. You're putting others before yourself. And secondly, you're not going to be happy because you're not living your truth. So when you follow joy, your highest excitement, when you're really expressed as yourself, like fully and completely, you feel liberated. It's like your soul, your essence, your being is unleashed, you're liberated. And that's when you can give a crap what other people think. And that's the most liberated place to be. When you don't care what others think, because you love yourself so much that you're like, this is who I am, then you're an embodied woman. Right? Because you must have the courage. And you must know and trust that when you be you, it's like, It's like you are sending out a magnetic signal that brings to you in the way you actually really want it, what you desire. And that's why authenticity in relationships is so important, because this is why people then end up being with someone, and then years later you're like, but you told me this, or I thought you were like this. It's like, if you don't like sports, you don't like sports. Be authentic. If you love, I don't know, something weird, you love it. And then you will attract someone who loves it too. So the most important thing for an embodied woman to be is authentic. When you don't like something, it's like, no, thank you. Not for me. When you really love something, it's like, yes. When you feel something, you feel it. You're not like, oh yeah, everything's so great. Hey everyone, I'm live. No, that's not the vibe, because that's felt. Falsity is felt. Fakeness is felt. Hiding is felt, right? Like even now, my truth is I don't wear makeup, right? So if I were to, sometimes I do. Sometimes if I'm going out and I feel like it, but the truth is, I'm like, right? Like, I'm more of a naturalist. I'm wearing a robe. This is a robe. I'm wearing a robe to show up live. In Ibiza, in the background, this is my hair from the sea. Like, this is me. This is really the truth of who I am. This is how I am. And some people are wanting a mentor that's just real. Even if you get all makeup up and have eyelashes and all that stuff, that's all great. Authenticity is what matters. Not like, let's be exactly the same. It's like, are you being authentic? Well, I can support you in your authenticity, right? And even for me, like, so for example, one thing that's not mainstream is how, like, I'm substance free. So I don't choose to participate in alcohol or any kind of mind-altering substance. But I still love to dance. So I might still go places that's there. And even just like 2 weeks ago, I was somewhere and people were like, oh, have a shot. I'm like, I don't drink. But come on, have a shot. I'm like, no, thank you. I don't drink. Thank you. And even through that pressure, that peer pressure, and people will try to enforce their reality on you, having that grounded, centered power that's like, you cannot sway me. I'm a tree. Like, I am a mother tree. I am strong. Of course, I am gentle and loving and compassionate and all those things, but I am me, and I'm going to be me. Loud, loud, loud. Proud, proud, proud. From an embodied place, of course, I'm not talking about ego or that my way is better or anything. No, it's like the full acceptance of the differences, but that, like, okay, that's authentically you. And even the fact, like, I'm in Ibiza, which is one of the party centers of the world, and I am currently in a 7-day personal guided dieta. I'll be water fasting, so I'm going to be sharing this transmission over 7 days. I'll be water fasting. I'm working with bobenzana, which is a flower from the Amazon. It's a heart healing flower. And also for feminine embodiment. And it's really about, because for me, as I'm going to talk about in these next days, so much of feminine embodiment are these essences that we can talk about them and we can feel them, but you can't fake them. Like, you can't fake love and compassion and forgiveness. You can't. Just like you can't fake authenticity. Like, these are truths, and truths of feminine embodiment and trust and surrender. And so I'm looking forward to sharing. And these are just little tastes of the deepening that we're going to go through in the program. And the Embodied Woman Program is a 6-month program. And I invite you to DM me if you're interested. I would love to have you. I feel like this is such important work for women as we're stepping into the leaders and the matriarchs that are here to bring the new earth. And it's a different way of relating. We're coming into right relation with ourselves first, and then each other, and in all of our relations. And so the way in which we show up to situations, our embodiment, our being, how we operate, how we speak, like, everything's on the table. Like, this is healing, this is personal development. And it's to cover every aspect of life, because we're a whole being. We're here to be wholly expressed. WHOLEY. Whole, the totality of your being. So when you're multidimensional, as I am, like I'm the meditator who likes silence, also the tantrika, also the one who loves to dance, like all these parts that seem opposite are perfect. Like they're, whatever your opposites are perfect. And so you're here to be embodied as the full authenticity of you and meet every moment authentically, of course, in loving compassion, but truth, right? And in different moments, you feel differently. And so, welcome. I think I have some pollen in my hair. The wind is blowing. Welcome to day 1 of the 7-day live series. I'll be seeing you live here every day. You can add me to your favorites, so then you get notified when I come on live, and also notified when I share stories and different things. And ladies, reach out to me. I would love to have you in the Embodied Woman Program. I would love to support your journey, and it's a journey that I am so in devotion to and in it and committed to it. And so with that, I send you so much love. I'll see you tomorrow for day 2. And thank you for being here, and share this with any other women you feel would benefit. Big kiss to you. Bye for now.